posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to Grown Dating Talk today. It's your host, Alona V.
And I'm SylarTheSuperVillian.
And we're going to get into things all grown, dating related, and mature.
Yeah. But first, I need you to help me understand something. I need to know why you women think it's okay to put a man in a relationship without his permission.
Oh?
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all think like
what's going on in your life?
Y'all have sex 2 times with a dude and really like it and think in your head, oh, that's my man now. You're nuts. Y'all need to be stopped.
No.
You need to be stopped.
No.
Nah, y'all running wild with that shit. Like, y'all do that.
What? That's what you've been experiencing out there?
That's what y'all be doing.
Out there?
It's me. Men across the world go through this.
Nah, this lady right here, I need more than just rod. I need way more than just rod.
You done did that before. You fucking be like, oh yeah, that's my man. Nah, you gotta have a conversation.
In my 20s. In my 20s.
You have,
in my 20s.
See,
in my
you
20s. Okay, in my 20s,
but
it was like, wait,
women,
that was good.
It's still women in
Where
their 30s and 40s
know.
that's still doing it.
Wow, no.
Yeah.
Gotta let that go.
Still doing it.
Gotta let that go.
You gotta have a conversation. I don't want to go to your family functions and then you happen to introduce me as your boyfriend. I'm not your boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, there are women that do
sex.
that. There are women, it's kind of like renegade. Oh,
right, we had sex.
renegade.
We didn't discuss a relationship.
Oh.
Not saying that we can't, but I'm saying like don't just automatically assume that.
Have a conversation. No, I understand exactly what you mean. Because
I'd be bugging.
Sorry, my whole head was just blown away by that because I'm putting myself in the shoes of a guy, like putting myself in your shoes to be on the receiving end of that. It's like, whoa, what the heck? You see it from a woman's perspective and stuff, but let's take a step back and discuss it from the man's perspective from right now. That's not okay, ladies. Please stop. Don't do that. Just definitely don't do that. In order to be in a relationship, 2 people have to have a full-fledged, full-on conversation and discussion.
2 willing participants.
Yes. You have to agree. I want to exclusively focus on you. I'm going to let go of anything and everything that's going on over here, in front and behind me, and I'm going to just focus on you. And if that conversation has not been had, then no, we can't pop up to functions that we agreed to go to together. Who's this young man? This is my boyfriend. This is my man.
Yeah, what? Like, no. Y'all should be brought up on charges when y'all do that. It should be a charge. Serious.
I agree with you because that definitely that really is uncomfortable.
It is.
Wow.
It is. No, like all jokes aside, like I've really experienced that before. Like,
especially,
you know what I mean? Like, in college, and I'm getting in, and then now like in her head, like, oh, this is my man.
It's
like,
a full-blown relationship.
No, I'm not.
Oh
we didn't talk about that.
But
we only talked about having sex.
No, but you didn't fuck me. You made love to me. That's what goes on in the twisted head.
I promise
That's
you.
That's what goes on in the twisted head. Somewhere in that psyche, right? That undeveloped psyche still in there. It's like, he made love to my soul. No, sis. No. He came in, he banged it out from a few angles, and that was that.
That's why, fellas, we gotta start changing our sex game. Can't give everybody the A game up front.
Or I say, have discussions. Have mature discussions. Put out what your expectations are. If you're dating someone or you're talking to them, whatever stage you're in, you're feeling it out, definitely have a discussion and say, hey, how long do you need to feel a person out before you decide whether you're going to continue to see them and do so on an exclusive level, or if you're going to just continue to see other people, continue dating and pursuing your options. These are, for some people, most people, uncomfortable conversations, but nevertheless, they're conversations that need to be had. Yeah, because it's really important. That's part of mature dating. Dating when you're 20, you're going with the flow. When you're in your 30s and 40s, you're still going with a flow, but the flow looks different. It's a bit more specific, a bit more detailed, a bit more intricate. Not a bit, a whole lot more intricate, And part of that interest, that part of being intricate, we'll cut that out. Yeah. But it's an intricate part of dating that is
100%.
necessary. Having uncomfortable but necessary conversations. And whether we are in a relationship, that's a really important conversation.
Yeah,
that
right.
needs to
Like
be
we
had.
both have to know going into this conversation or going into this that we're in a relationship.
Yes.
You can't just assume that.
No, you
And
definitely
women
just
really
can't.
think that's okay. Not all women, but there are women out here who really think that's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. I'm not your boyfriend.
There's some that
Let's
goes-
talk about it.
There's some that go to really crazy extents too. They will they have these thin line between love and hate.
Yeah.
Thin line between love and hate. They can become a bit obsessive.
Nah, but he and you know, we had to take one on the chin because Marlon was bothering.
Yeah, he definitely was.
He told the chick
does
he
that.
loved her and all that. You can't do that.
And you
Fellas,
know-
stop doing that to get the poom poom.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Now let's segue into that part. Men using those tactics. And that's the thing. Some women will say, well, he treated me as if I was special in that way. He treated me like I
all
was
the
the only
relationship
one.
type shit.
He spoke to me this way. He made me feel, he implied that there was a relationship there. So to be fair, even though a man's like, well, she's implying a relationship, she's putting me in a relationship without my permission, there are men out there who expect women to give them all the benefits of being in the relationship without actually being in the relationship. Take my calls when I call. Tell me about what you're doing. Tell me where you're at all day. I love you. I love you. He's love bombing you, and he wants you to fall in love with him. This man wants you to
All to get to the coochie.
But exactly, bust it open to get to the coochie, as you would say. He wants you to share your organ with him, ladies.
Yeah, I can't.
But he
I
wants
can't
you to
defend
cook
that.
and clean for him and be available for him
Wash
and
the
just be, you know
clothes.
what I mean? Wash the skid marks, as you would say, and be there on his beck and call and be his mama and his therapist and
As friends.
everything too. Yeah, as friends,
friends.
But I'm not looking for anything serious. Well, guess what?
But let me move in.
Oh, you said PlayStation 4 in the
PlayStation
trash
4 in the
bag?
trash bag.
Oh my
Right
God.
there in the cut.
Well, guess what? I'm not looking for anything serious either. These are headaches. So I seriously do not want to be your friends with benefits. I don't want to be in a situationship. Like, I seriously need you to go, bro. I need you
Yeah,
to
some
go.
of these dudes just really don't got no game, probably, because that is whack. That is weird. Like, you know, they do a lot of men. I see it a lot where, you know, dudes
Mm-hmm.
really engage women. They're going out with her. They meet family members. You know,
Yes.
doing a lot of
The
intimate
whole
shit.
nine.
And then, nah, but
Wait.
we just friends. It's like,
Yes.
I mean, y'all could, if you want to fuck, just say you want to fuck. But stop going outside
Yeah.
when the sun is out.
Thank you. Have a
Play the vampire hours.
conversation. Communicate. And that's the thing, because then
See you at 11 p.m.
these guys will say, I don't understand where you got that in your head. I told you in the beginning that I didn't want this.
And spend all his time with you.
Oh, he's practically moved in. And you're like, wait a minute.
As
hold
friends.
up. As friends. As friends. I only want this much.
Yes.
Well, that's fine, because I can only give you this much. And right now you're right here, so I need you to go.
That is some weird shit, though.
That is weird. That is weird. I don't understand that at all, because you cannot build a relationship with someone like that.
Yeah.
And there are men who use that to like go in and out of women's lives and stuff. Like we talked about, the player, the Rolodexing.
Mhm.
The Rolodex player. So the Rolodex
Yeah, I be
player.
doing that shit too.
See,
I got the
ladies.
Rolodex.
See the Rolodex.
Yeah, I got the Rolodex. We
See,
talked
women-
about this on.
We spoke about that too.
Yep.
Yes, about women Rolodexing men. And I'm going to say that women learn that from men. They learn that from men because of this whole relationship thing without permission.
Lies.
Men will enter women into relationships without their permission. You'll be in the talking
Unheard of.
phase, and now all of a sudden he wants to. What do you mean you're going out on a date? He hits you up. What are you doing this evening? Just finished work. I'm getting ready for my date. I'm not going out anywhere with you. We didn't have plans.
So?
Of course we didn't have plans. I do have plans with other people. If we're not in, if we don't have
You going out
titles.
with a female, one of your lady friends? Say that.
No. I'm
You
going out on a
going out
date. I'm going out on a date with another young man because I am single.
Think so.
And we do not have titles. And I'm not going to sit here and have relationship complications and headaches with someone I'm not titled
Okay.
and not in a relationship with. So men have to stop that.
You think you're going on a date? You going what? All right. You think it's going down like that? You're not going on a date. It's not matter. I'm good. It's a fucking title. You ain't going on a damn date.
And that proves my point.
We're in the I'm trying to get to know you phase, and I have to be able to get to know you without any outside interference. So chill the fuck out.
So basically what that means is no interception by any other man dingo.
No interception. I'm catching all the passes.
See what I mean, ladies? So it's like, and fellas, it's a two-sided street. Women do not enter men into relationships without their permission. And men, what I'm going to say is, if you meet a young woman and you would like to have relationship benefits with this young woman, then you better be ready to take yourself off the baker's rack, because you cannot stay on the rack for sale.
That's true. Yeah.
And still have all the benefits of this wonderful
If you want to
person.
hit, just hit. Just stop doing all that extra I love you shit and get mad or get apprehensive when she says I love you too.
Yes, they get scared.
Playing with her kids, like all kind of wild shit, and then you wonder why. Going away on family vacations, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I got a homeboy who was doing that. Like, it was the funniest conversation.
Wow.
Like, he spent almost all his free time with her, with this girl.
Uh-huh.
He would come to our football games.
Mm-hmm.
He would, he would bring her to our football games. Like,
Yeah.
she'd be right there on the sideline. Yeah, he'd be going to her family functions and all that, and then. Like, we discussed, like, also, your shorty,
He's the foster father.
that's I'm like, yeah, he's really, like, he be in pictures on the book, and, like, with the kids and all of that. He don't even have no kids. He don't even have no kids. But he be with kids all the time. But then, when you be like, yeah, your shorty or your girl, he's like, nah, it's not my girl. Like, we figuring it out. What are y'all figuring out? Like, you sleeping in her house.
And what's so hurtful about that, too, is that these individuals, be it a woman or a man that's doing it, right, just do not even look at the deeper level of damage and trauma that causes. Because in their head, they're just living life. They're doing their thing. This feels good in the moment, so I'm going to do this. It keeps me from being bored. It keeps me from being, from feeling lonely, whatever it is, making them feel like the man or the woman. But what about the other person's feelings? What about the children's feelings? Because the children are bonding with this man, thinking that, I have a mentor, a male mentor in my life, a father figure to look up to, because if they have a father, an active father in their life, great. But what if they don't? And now they've developed a bond with this man, and this man is there under deceptive circumstances. And again, this is not just for men, because this can happen on women's parts too. There are women out there who do it too. So let's be honest and straightforward. But the children are then damaged, and then they're hurt, because when this relationship breaks up, does this person stay around to further engage these kids? Right. No, they usually move on, and they do this with someone else. And then the woman or man that's there has to then comfort their kids. And this person may come from a background where they were abandoned themselves. And so now there's a level of hurt, and they're healing from their own hurt of being abandoned by yet another person when they already had abandonment issues from before, inner childhood trauma and stuff. And now they then have to comfort this debt, this dent, this level of this abandonment feeling in their children too. And that's not part of like mature dating talk, when it's not just your actions. It's not just about being in the moment and doing what feels good, but looking at those actions from a more mature perspective now. Like, there's consequences behind this stuff.
Yeah. That's it, like, in a nutshell. Yeah.
Wow. I'm like, and the thing is too, we've all, like, people have been there. When you were in your 20s, you might have dated somebody that had kids. Women do it too. You date guys, and these guys have kids as well. And I don't say that women enter themselves in pictures to say, I'm going to take pictures with these kids and play mom and stuff. Definitely not that. But you do have women that will sit there and prey on fathers. Like, he's active in his kid's life. He's loving. He's this, he's that. Let me go over there and get some of that love. And then they take and subtract attention from that man's child and create like discord.
Well, if it's a real man, he's not going to allow that to happen, because I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Exactly. Definitely. Don't allow stuff like that.
I mean, you have to, honestly, if you're entertaining a relationship, you have to give a certain amount of time towards that. But
never subtract that time from your kids.
My child is not going to feel like they're any less than.
Exactly. There's no competition. Kids come first. And that brings us back to that point. Like, it's not okay to step into someone's life and create an illusion or play a part that you know, especially when you know you're not going to stick around for the long term, to really solidify that part that you stepped in on.
Right.
So
Right.
again, do not enter yourself into a person's life and start a relationship without permission, without a full-blown discussion. You know what I mean?
That's why people get ghosted.
Exact. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's exactly why people get ghosted.
There are times, there are men out there that will do certain things and women will ghost them. And men will say, well, I don't get this. She just stopped taking my calls. I text her and never heard back from her. I was calling her all these times and she never called me back. Voicemail after voicemail. And a woman was totally turned off. She recognizes that game. She's like, he has that in and out energy. He's doing this. He's a player. This is the way he's carrying himself, or just the way he handles her. It's not up to my standards.
Right. And, ultimately, a woman doesn't really owe a man an explanation as to why he got ghosted. Ultimately. She doesn't. However, it would be cool to yo, this is why I'm not effing with you no more. I'm falling back. I'm out of here.
I agree.
Because sometimes, a man may not know, what he's doing or how he's making you feel. If he's used to moving a certain way, it could be that's just how he's moving. There's nothing bad going on.
Exactly.
But you just don't like it instead of telling him. So maybe he could switch it up. Because he may actually like you. But it'd be on some, nah, that's it. I'm ghosting you. It's over. All right. And that was supposed to be the one that was for you, too.
Yes. And you chase the one that's for you away.
Threw him away.
Yes. I agree. When it comes to that, you definitely have to communicate. And that's one of the things about having mature conversations. Sometimes those conversations can be uncomfortable. Sometimes they have to be uncomfortable. But they're pushing us to grow in order to, how would you say, develop our voice and be able to effectively communicate with others in order to get to that long-term result of finding lasting love, be it with this person, or things don't work out with this person, you can exit on a healthy basis and continue on. And when you exit things with someone, try as best as possible to exit it with grace. Too often people are used to exiting things on a traumatic and vindictive purpose, and that's not how life should be. When you grow in life, you gain wisdom and knowledge, and you start to learn that healthy forms of exiting relationships involve grace. So I say that to say that you're right. A person you don't have to explain to someone why you're ghosting them and not talking to them, because some situations it needs to be exited without any explanation. But there are situations where there's nothing wrong and it's healthy to communicate to someone. Hey, I've texted guys before during my dating walk of life that things just weren't it wasn't going to continue. And I've said things like, hey, you are a great person. Already he's laughing. You are a great person.
Just threw the book at him.
I think that, you're going to be perfect for someone else, but I don't feel that we share the same emotions for each other. The dynamic with the two of us, I just don't think it's a good fit. And it has nothing to do with you. I think that you are a really great person.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just not a good fit for me. But I think that you are a really great person, and I wish you the best in life.
And all your future endeavors.
And all of your future endeavors. And I know that you're going to find somebody really, really great who's going to love you and give you the world and want the world with you. And if a person says, well, what is it? Could I get some feedback? If the guy communicates back well, I understand, but what was it about me specifically? Or what was it about the dynamic that turned you off? Okay, that's fine. The fact that, you were excessively late, or the communication was, most times it's inconsistent communication for me, because it's hard for a guy to get me to zone in on him and garner all of my attention, because, I focus my attention on my kids. I'm a mom. So, I multitask and I do a lot. And that's one thing. People see me very busy, always on the go. But when it comes to my family, I love my children. That's my thing. My children are my world. They're my world. So I spend a lot of time in my hermit mode with my kids because they're my world. So yeah. So when it comes to texting a guy to letting him down, I'll say things like, which is very true. I just want to focus on, I need to take my focus away from this right now and put it on my children and business and on myself, which is true, because at that point, if you've done things and made me feel a ways in the relationship, if you've made me feel like I wasn't valued, like you're not interested, and like you don't respect my time and me, then yeah, I'm gonna subtract my attention. You know what I mean?
Makes
and
sense.
that I'll give you an explanation for that if you ask, but I'm not gonna just ghost you unless it was crazy circumstances. But if you want to know, it's like I definitely will let a guy down and make him aware. These are some issues that I saw, some red flags or yellow flags, and I'm going to back up respectfully for this reason if he asks for that. But again, I think that you are a great person, and I still want you to know that there's somebody great out there for you, but especially if it's like inconsistent communication. I can't do that.
You should just pat him on the head and tell him, get back out there, Tiger. After that conversation, that's how it felt. Like, wow, there's someone great for me out there. I know that. I don't need you to tell me that.
Part of that,
trying to make it you.
Mature dating. Well, if you was trying to make it me, then you should have been on top of your game, doing what you need to do, recognizing that this
girls, I was gonna get right back.
And at the time while you were going, I created businesses, forms of residual income, and had to go.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that people don't realize. When you ghost someone, that person's life continues.
Mm-hmm.
And most people, when they ghost, it's like you don't think about what's caused in the end run. And some of them, the not so bright ones, will spin the block and come back because they Rolodex in it again, whether it be men or women, the Rolodexing thing. Hey, yeah. Like I'm finished dealing with woman or man number one over here because now they're expecting some long-term expectations for a relationship. And I wasn't there for that. Right. So I'm gonna create a diversion over here that gives me distance and space. And then I'm going to go over here to woman or man number two. And whether it be running between these two people and when this person wants something from them more than what their intentions were there, I'm going to step back. And, you can't do that. Ghosting in and out. That's hurtful. And when you are maturely dating as a grown adult, you do not do things like that. You give people explanations. You have sometimes uncomfortable and difficult conversations and letting people down gently and making them aware, like, look, this dynamic, what's going on here?
Be sure to tell them that they're great.
Yeah.
Let them know that there's someone out there for them.
Yes, give some constructive feedback. Don't just stomp on someone's soul,
She deads dudes and gives them encouragement.
Look.
That's wild. Yeah, I'm out.
What can I say? Like, I'm looking for what I'm looking for, which is it's not over the top, like,
that's a
over
good
the hill
way
expectations and things like that. It's reasonable things that I'm looking for,
Yeah.
And if a man's stepping to the table and I'm putting out on the table, hey, this is what I'm looking for, because I'm a very upfront person. We go on that first date, here's my card. Boom, 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 boom. This is who I am. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I've been through. This is what I'm not trying to deal with. Who are you? Just put it out,
Yeah, but most people in that case, some people end up putting out the lies.
Yes.
From jump. Whether
That's
it's
when
about,
you meet the representatives.
Yeah.
Oh.
People lie about stupid shit sometimes, though.
They do. They
really
lie about stupid shit, like employment status. There's so many people out here saying, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm self-employed. Look, if you're sitting home on unemployment, you are not self-employed. And this is the thing. No disrespect to the people who are on unemployment because things were caused by this pandemic. I'm not talking about that population of people. I would never, ever, ever look down upon or disrespect and discriminate against a population of people like that. I wouldn't do that. I'm talking about the people who are out there creating illusions, just straight up damn lying. Men who are sitting there on unemployment at home or broke, no unemployment whatsoever. Or even working a regular job. And there's nothing wrong. Don't be ashamed of that. But do not sit out here and say, I'm self-employed. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm CEO. Fool, you are not CEO.
Unemployed.
Stocking shelf ass Jeff. Get the hell out of here. Come on now. We're not doing that.
That's why I say you need to date in your range, man. Like if you
Summer fall ass John.
Or some people like just
that.
maybe
like,
don't fucking date. Like some people, like you have to be mature enough to know sometimes like this period of time I need to not date nobody. I need to focus on leveling up. Yeah, I have to level up.
I have to focus.
Fuck with nobody right now.
Thank you.
Because I need to get somewhere else.
And whatever that focus is, whether it's you feel you don't have enough money and you want more money, then focus on getting your dollars up. You don't have to date. You can focus on saving your money, paying your bills, learning how to invest your money so your money
Take
makes
care of
you
your
money.
kids.
Yes. Please take care of your kids. I cannot stand seeing men and women out here dressed to the T, out here doing things, having this lavish life. And where are your kids during this time? Are they with you?
With grandma.
Thank you.
Mommy be back.
Yes. And it's like, that's not cool.
All the absentee fathers. I've been to friendships for dudes who don't take care of their kids. I ain't with that.
No, you have to take care of your kids. Your kids are your first priority. Children come first. I mean, come on. It's an immature mind frame. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it from this mature perspective, because I don't want people to say, hey, Alana, that's real judgmental to look down on people, because some people have different situations and circumstances going on in the back burner. And you're right. I understand that. There are people
that's what I want to deal with.
Exactly. There are people who, my thing is this, when you learn better and you know better, you have an obligation to do better. So even if you were not raised in these circumstances and shown these things, and then you modeled this behavior throughout a certain portion of your life because you weren't shown that, okay. At some point in life, you learned this. You learned this understanding, this knowledge. You learned this. And from that point when you learned it, you had an obligation to implement it and do better moving forward.
Right.
Too many people want to lean back on, oh, but this happened to me and that happened to me. Okay, those things happen to you. We can't change that.
You gotta heal.
But you can, you need to put forth the effort to heal.
Don't date and heal yourself first.
Thank you. Do not bring your trauma and baggage into the relationship. It's because it's going to breed lies.
Yeah.
You're going to make your partner unhappy. And stop with this, oh my God, you know what frustrates me on the dating sites when men go, they have a profile and they're on there, but you're not single. Fellas, the dating sites, these dating websites, they're for single people, single men who have no wives, who have no girlfriends.
Some dudes just want to...
Thank you. You see what I mean here? Do you see what I mean? No explanation. It proves my point. Keep your ass off the damn dating sites.
That's definitely getting cut.
When you're in a relationship.
You should leave that shit in there.
Bored as shit at home with his wife or girlfriend, and whatever the dynamic is, it's just not doing it for him.
Husband by day, playboy by night.
Thank you. Helicoptering it all around. Mm-hmm. No, we cannot do this. Yeah.
But that's going to do it for this week. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. And we thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, I'm SylarTheSuperVillian.
I'm Alona V.
And we will see you next week.
Join us. Grown Dating Talk.
For the record. For the record. For the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Frozen. H6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ballin' age. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the. On record, off record. I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. Running through it with the young influence. Adolescent presence. I'm succumbing to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete ejected with the moves elusive. And I'm barely moving, but I'm still gon' boost them. I can't work on winnings when I know you're losing. So I work the winners and they throw the deuces. Guess I have to pivot, shooting the bazookas for the facts. I need racks, paper, cash, fuck a tax. That's a joke. Tell them laugh. Uncle Sam, fuck out the bag. Brody plot, will get a whack. Contract, give me the max. I got lab on my back. You ain't that, then it's raps. Whoa, 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 whoa. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record.